Guys, just like the video thumbnail suggests, the first 50 people to leave a comment down below, like any comment at all, are gonna get a free Ed Gasket limited edition koozie shipped to their door free of charge. So give it a try. Like, leave a comment. Guys, welcome back to Ed Gasket. As a reminder, our Cash for Cannons campaign is taking place for the whole month of October. That means 100% of the profits from this t-shirt and this koozie are being donated to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. So head over to edgasket.com to land your shirt, your koozie, and show your support for a super important cause. Guys, if you're new to the channel, meet our 2018 Honda Grom. We just finished up all the repairs from an accident that left this machine totaled by the insurance company. Now, if you're keeping tabs, you know it's time for us to remove all the fairings and plastics from this machine, get them over to the workbench, and prep this motorcycle for a color change. Hey guys, it's the next morning. We're back in the garage. It's time to start working on bodywork for this Grom. So we're gonna start with these plastics and fairings and remove all the graphics and stickers so we can prep this stuff for paint. So the best way to get a decal like this off of plastic is to apply a little bit of heat, either through a heat gun or a blow dryer. Now don't apply too much heat or else you'll melt this plastic and you have to throw it away and buy a new one. Don't ask me how I know. Unfortunately, if you don't heat it up enough, it'll come off in 50 pieces like this versus if you heat it up just right. So the next step in our color change process is to completely disassemble these fairings in order to expose every single surface to the entire prep process before we shoot any paint onto these fairings. Now to protect the plastic, I'm not going to use any harsh chemicals because I don't want anything leaching into the plastic and then causing a complication down the road when we're shooting paint. So I'll just use soap and warm water to prep these plastics. And while I have the warm soapy solution all over the product, I'm going to hit it with some 400 grit wet sanding sandpaper. That way we promote good adherence between this plastic and our primer. Guys, on the drying rack behind me are all the plastic pieces that we just degreased with soap and water. Now it's imperative that all this stuff completely dries before we hit it with any new chemicals or even think about mixing or spraying any primers or paints. So while it dries, let's head over to the auto body supply house and pick up everything we're going to need from start to finish to apply a new color to our motorcycle. Guys, our first stop's gonna be Home Depot to pick up all the supplies we need to build the actual paint booth, and then we'll swing over to the automotive supply house to get our paint and other chemicals. Once we have everything we need in the truck, I'll meet you back in the garage. So we're back in the garage. We had to stop at the hardware store and the automotive supply house to pick up a few essential items that we need to get started on our paint job. So let me show you a few of these items and then we'll get moving. So arguably the most important piece of this whole paint job equation is air quality. So we want to make sure the air coming out of the paint gun is pure and the air circulating around the garage is free of debris or dust. This is an inline air kit to make sure that the air coming out of our gun is free from moisture or debris. or debris. The filter inside kind of looks like toilet paper, and unfortunately it will expire if you don't use it. So if you know you're not going to be painting for the season, take this thing apart and use it to wipe your butt. As important as it is to have high quality air coming out of the gun, you also need high quality air in the paint booth itself. So we'll be using a box fan with a furnace filter to make sure the air in the booth is really clean. But first, let me show you how I'm going to build this paint booth we keep talking about. All right, the pop-up paint booth is officially ready for use, but I have to show you the coolest part about this thing before we actually use it. Once you're finished using your paint booth for the day, you can put your tools away and then roll the booth up into the ceiling, hiding it above the garage door. Now that you see how easy it is to put this paint booth away, I brought the walls back down, and it's time to bring in all the plastic pieces that we're gonna paint. I'm gonna clean up the paint booth, make it airtight, and then we'll start shooting some primer. So this is a reminder to stay tuned to the end of today's video to find out how you can land yourself a brand new special edition Ed Gasket koozie. Now these are not available on the website, so stay tuned to the end to find out how I'm gonna ship this directly to your door free of charge. No purchase, no phone numbers, no emails. I'm gonna ship this directly to you, and if you're interested in receiving one of them, I'll see you at the end of the video. Guys, welcome to the inside of the paint booth. The only thing left to do is to tape all the corners of the tarps together to make this area airtight so that the fan can do its job. I'm gonna let this fan run for a few minutes and circulate some air in here. While that's happening, I'll meet you over at the workbench and let's mix up some primer. So the primer came out really well. We did 2 pretty heavy coats and that left a nice rough finish on our plastics. That means the next best thing for us to do here is a 400 grit wet sand. Now once we're finished with the wet sanding, I'll wash it all off with a nice warm water and soap bath. Lastly, we'll hit it with the air compressor to give it a nice blow dry. So once you've given that ample time to dry, you put your plastic pieces back on the paint rack and it's officially time to mix up and spray your base and clear coat. So we just finished up our 2 base coats, which was black and sandstorm. So the last step for this paint job is to mix up some clear and hit it with a few coats. So what do you say we mix up our final batch of paint for the evening and finish up this paint job? So the plastics look awesome, but they're gonna need at least 24 hours to sit before I can cut and polish the clear coat to get rid of that nasty orange peel. If you look at the right angle, you can see it. Whoops. So in the next video, I'll show you how to cut and polish clear coat to get rid of that nasty orange peel. I'll show you final reassembly of the Honda Grom, and most importantly, show you how to transfer a salvage title to a rebuilt title so that you can get your motorcycle back on the road. I didn't forget. If you're here because you want your Ed Gasket koozie, all you have to do is be one of the first 50 people to leave a comment down below. I'll reach out to you and figure out how to get you your special edition Ed Gasket koozie. Guys, if you're interested in seeing more videos like what you saw today, please subscribe to this channel and leave some feedback down below. Don't forget to head over to edgasket.com to get yourself your special edition Cash for Cannons t-shirt, where all proceeds are going to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Otherwise, guys, if you need us between now and our next video, we'll be in the garage.